Bitcoin runes are so back, but is the rest of the market? We're going to talk about the state of the market, some shocking news that happened within crypto just today and last night, and of course, those sweet, juicy 10 to 100x runes that we see on the market. Okay, so Bitcoin almost got destroyed yesterday. We actually made a video on it, but we got saved by some of the meetings being pushed back and some pretty shocking news. So on Monday, we were expecting the Hong Kong ETF to bring in some volume to Bitcoin in general. And there was plenty of reports like this saying that Bloomberg ETF analyst says they brought in $11.2 million. Well, $11.2 million is pretty lackluster and pretty bearish. Well, good thing a Bloomberg analyst responded to this saying this isn't quite the case. Matter of fact, this is what the case actually is. We actually saw closer to $292 million in volume across the ETF and a lot of other good news. I'm not going to read this whole thing. Basically, the way that Hong Kong reported it was different than the way US reports it, kind of for marketing purposes, but regardless, it was way off what we thought the numbers would be, and that is why. However, it's not all green. We haven't just reached the good side right now. It's not saying this is going to bounce back the market because there's still scary things out there. This is a very important chart to look at. This is the ETF inflows and outflows. For the longest time, the inflows were outweighing the outflows, bringing it to a total of positive 11.22 billion, as you see at the top left. However, look at yesterday, negative 563 million in outflows. Then negative 161 million the day before that. If you look across this board, you actually see red all the way across from some of the largest companies in the world that control the ETFs. So all in all, outflows are looking bad. If this continues, it's not looking too good for the short-term price action of Bitcoin. We'll see how it goes today. Maybe this is some panic selling due to Hong Kong and due to some other factors, but only time will actually tell. Some of my most respected traders out there are calling for in the 40K range of Bitcoin if things don't turn up soon. But again, only time will tell. We don't know quite yet. Just know that last cycle we had plenty of 20 to 30% dips. This cycle could be no different. And last cycle we also broke all-time highs. So that's still our target here for 2024. However, with what I'm about to show you, let's go ahead and send it straight to zero because this is one of the weirdest things I've seen on crypto in a long time. Last night we saw a child and his mom launch a meme coin. The kid is 14 years old. There has been some more information updated on this, and the meme coin is literally called Live Mom Soul, where they went live on Kick, and for every couple 100,000 the market cap got up, they would do something else weird. It's a little cringe even talking about this, but if I had to see it, so do you. Well, basically at like 100,000, the mom cracks an egg on his head. At 500,000, different things happen. It's really weird, and we'll see if this becomes so weird that it's legal. This coin actually went above a $1 million market cap while they were on the live, and since then it's been cut in half. We'll see what happens after this, but 2 million views on Twitter just about somebody talking about it. I'm not too sure how much the live stream got. What? All right, time for the reason you probably clicked this video. First and foremost, Magic Eden now has market caps on runes, which is pretty cool. You can actually just go straight to Magic Eden. I'll expand this a little bit, and you can see the market caps over to the right on some of these projects. Honestly, for the last 24 hours and the last week, despite the crypto market getting hammered, runes have held up surprisingly well, with Dog Go to the Moon leading at a $373 million market cap, if we're not counting Fehu, which, by the way, Fehu had some really crazy news. I did buy over $1,000 worth of Fehu earlier this week. I announced that on Twitter. Be following me on there if you're not already. And I wasn't expecting this, but it actually got an insane pump today due to something really funny. The hilarious thing about this Fehu is that the team actually mined 99% of the token and has been pretty cryptic ever since. Well, today I was actually scrolling through Magic Eden and I saw over 400 buys pending on Fehu. I was like, what's going on? I go over to their Twitter and they literally just make this funny post about this is the team allocation, the tokenomics, which is 99%. The public gets 1, so it's still kind of cryptic. The speculation here is that the team paid $500,000 for the rune number 1. There is a rune number 0, which is Casey's, but that's for a whole nother video, different story. But there's a lot of speculation around this. Some people think that they're going to burn the supply. Some people think that they're going to kind of like give unlocks to current holders. Who really knows at this point? If they do something like distribute the 99% or sell, one, they won't even have the liquidity to be able to sell it. and then 2, they're just going to completely destroy what they originally paid for. So personally, I'm betting that they do something really cool, hoping the team is really strong behind it. Extremely speculative, extremely risky, but so is a lot of other things we talk about on this video, on this channel in general. So just remember, anything on here could absolutely go to zero. None of this is financial advice, entertainment purposes only. I make all these videos to put all this information on a level playing field for everyone. This little doggo right here just isn't stopping. This is doggo go to the moon. One thing I like about this, and even Leo, the person who launched it, talks about a lot, this is a very mid-curve play. If you imagine dog being on an exchange, it's literally that. The ticker is dog. That's it, D-O-G. So you don't even have to be into any of this stuff to appreciate that the ticker is, somebody might see it and be like, oh, dog, that's funny, let me buy that. It's still at a $373 million market cap, already almost at $500 million. This thing launched on the first day of trading. It was around like 250 million, and it's pretty much been up only with some just very small changes, just like you see on the day, like 2% down. Of course, there's RSIC. RSIC is, I've already talked about it in so many videos. It's definitely gonna be a top player in this cycle as far as runes go. Decentralized has performed meh. It's at $66 million market cap. If you're holding on to the ordinal before that, you got this airdrop for free. The amount that you got airdrop to you was this amount at 910,000, which at the low right now, it's at $2,802, so essentially $3,000. Of course, who knows where the ordinal would have been as well. The ordinal is currently still worth around 0.015, so you can add that to the total cost. So those are some of the big players, and you can see some of the other ones up here. I've been talking about Satoshi since the beginning. Satoshi Nakamoto, it just makes sense. It's actually going up a little bit, 10%, but overall $2.17. This thing peaked at like $7. Actually sold a batch at $750, got my initial back and then some on all of this. But I still have a bag of Satoshi and still think that it can do well. So we're pretty much looking at all the top 10 right now, and it's pretty easy to say, you know, these could do well if runes continue to do well. But let's look at some that are a little bit more speculative. I'm going to go to one that is a little less speculative, and then one that like I'm just really putting a lot in as a zero or moon type of token. This will be the last time I talk about this probably in a video, because the snapshot's actually May 5th, and I'm gonna give you the TLDR because I actually talked about this in my last video. Essentially, this is the 15th ticker. It is pizza delivery. It's right after Bullish Bitcoin Pizza Ninjas, which is actually the company that I work for. This is not the company that I work for, but I did buy $1,000 worth just a few days ago. Long story short, there's a BRC20 of this, and then there is an ordinal of this. You can buy either to get the airdrop allocation. I wrote out in this post the potential at the time for what the total supply is, the BRC20 allocation, and the Pizza Rune ordinal allocation. Long story short is basically you are better off, if you want to speculate on the rune, buying the BRC20. It was a 40+% more, 46% more on the runes per dollar than the ordinal itself. So this is just something I'm speculating on. Pizza is a really good ticker, and it's in the top 15. Last but not least, and I know I'm going really fast, let me know if you like me going fast because it kind of makes the video go faster, or you'd rather me slow it down down below in the comments. Also, if I missed a ticker that you think is just going to run, drop it down below. So art is the ticker. Rune number 10,000. That's such a clean ticker. I mean, people were talking about the sub 10K ordinals, talking about certain, like there's a whole thing of collecting sats. Like some people care about this stuff. So the fact that it's rune 10,000, I think is really cool. The market cap is currently below 200,000. And the floor is relatively thin with a lot of small buys, but you can see that the floor price, the 15.6, just with a couple small buys can bump all the way up to like 17 or 18. I do own obviously pretty much everything I talked about. There's a few things I didn't talk about. This is a very low market cap, and this is what I would consider one of my moonshots. Now, one of the things about art as a ticker is there's an actual artist behind this that's actually known in the Bitcoin space. I think the fact that an artist got this and it has the provenance of rune 10,000, if they do anything art related with this, there can definitely be a narrative that forms there. I would consider this high risk because maybe nobody cares about rune 10,000. Maybe the artist just walks away. So many other things can happen. But all in all, those are just some rune tickers that I'm looking at right now. I have probably a list of 20 more that I either own or I've been looking at or looking into. If you want to hear about those, be sure to let me know down below in the comments, and definitely support this content. Like it, share it, subscribe, all of those social media things. I don't like asking for it, but it's the whole reason that I do this is to be able to help you guys. I can't help you guys and help more people if I don't have more exposure. The only way I have more exposure is if you do something that's completely free to support me, and that's just liking and interacting. I'll see you guys next video.